So yesterday, Guild Wars 2, or ArenaNet rather, updated the game with the four starting world bosses. So the Spawner Shaman Chief, the Shadow Behemoth, Fire Elemental, and Jungle Worm. In my personal opinion, I thought Fire Elemental and Jungle Worm were really bad before because of how quick they took. So not only did they increase the health on all of these bosses, but they also greatly increased the rewards. You get like champion bags and shit after. You get way more rewards, way more gold for doing them compared to what they were at before. So this is going to attract a lot more people to come and do these early world bosses in comparison to some of the later world bosses. A lot of people are still going to be doing these early ones. They're also very well designed for new players. This is really, really great for this whole new player experience overhaul they're going for. And I overall think that they did an absolutely fantastic job with this. So we're going to start off with the Spawn Your Shaman Chief, which is the gameplay you're seeing in the background. Now, every single world boss got a new updated model. Some of them look better than others. I think it personally, in my opinion, the best looking one has to be the Shaman Chief. He looks intimidating as fuck outside of his construct form, and then when he does transform into a construct or whatever the hell, he just is bigger than before. He looks amazing. The textures on him look fantastic. They did a great job with the look of the Shaman Chief himself. And yeah, it's really fun. So basically, the change in mechanics here is this goes for all of the events. By the way, there's no change in the pre-events. So that being the little portals you have to kill for Shadow Behemoth, or the Dragon Totem, and the Escort, and the Grawl killing for Frozen Maw. So there's no changes to that. They also did update the model, the totem too, which I was kind of needless, but it's cool, whatever. And basically, what they did here is they added in a whole shitload of AoE ice tornadoes going around. The boss is very mobile and can do a spin attack, so it can kind of go forward with a spin attack similar to Warrior Greatsword 3. It could do that sort of attack, and lots of AoEs, and you have to really position yourself right. He'll do frontal cone AoEs and knock people back. It really is, if you're not watching your shit, it's knockback city, man. It's really crazy how many fucking knockbacks there are here. AoE City is the proper name for this. There are a ton of things you have to look out for. This is a great fight for training players to watch their shit when it comes to AoEs. This is a really, really fun fight. It takes probably the longest out of all these. It takes pretty long to do, but it's also just really fun. I love how they increase the health on all these guys because before you killed them instantly. I like the longer world bosses because as long as they take below 15 minutes, I'm okay. Because with little boss trains, you want to kill the boss ideally within like 10 minutes, right? And then you want to move on to the next one, which is going to be 15 minutes after the last world boss spawned, right? So you got XX00, XX15, XX30, and so on. Yeah, that's the whole time like layout for these bosses that spawn. So you're trying to get them done within a reasonable amount of time. That way you can get a map that's that fills up quickly instead of just one that is basically like an overflow map. You're trying to get in a good one. So all these world bosses do a good job at that. They don't exceed their time that they should take. You get greatly rewarded for what you do. I thought the Shaman Chief was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was a really, really good one. The weakest change, in my opinion, came with the Shadow Behemoth and Queensdale. The Shaman Chief was in Wayfarer Foothills. The Shadow Behemoth already before was a pretty decent fight. It had that health gating with the portals and stuff like that. And now the portal's health are increased, and they have an increasing amount over time with the health gating, um, which is pretty interesting. And they can also be you can apply conditions to them now too, which is nice. So you can get them down quicker, cons for condi damage. So this is gonna force a lot of people to kind of work together, get the portals down because of the fact that they have more health. Although there's still gonna be lots of bystanders who just don't even get the portals. Unfortunately, that's just how it's gonna be. But yeah, you have to do that now. I mean, you did before, but there's a little more mechanically going on, and there's a little bit of AOE's. One frustrating thing that I found with the boss is it's very, very poor for melee combat. This is something that I really did not like. Like a good half of the time during his DPS phase, his head would go all the way up, and you can't melee him like you could before, but you could still range attack him, right? And so my pet couldn't do anything. Like it was just really, really frustrating seeing that, and I do hope that they change that and make it so he's either his head is on the ground all the time instead of retreating back up. I just find that really annoying. If I were to make one change to the fight, it would definitely be that. As I said, there's a little bit of AOE's thrown in here. It's nothing. It's nothing too insane with AOE's. This is pretty much the most same that we had out of all these bosses. Like it's pretty much the same shit, just a little different. But honestly, I thought it was fine before. And of course, we get the increased rewards, which is always a very, very nice thing. And definitely has helped out with world boss trains for sure. Coming up next is the Fire Elemental in Metrica Province. This is a awesome one. I hate how long the priests take. I did notice the Golem Escort took a little shorter. He wasn't going around a whole bunch. However, I'm not sure if it was bugged or not. So he basically walked straight to the boss arena, right? But then he walked back and started doing his little spinning thing. So he gave us the impression that he doesn't have to go around and spin on those noxious clouds anymore. Like we escort him over to the boss and then that's it. But then he ran back and did some stuff, and it definitely took shorter than what it was before. But it was still a little frustrating to see that. I'm not sure if that's bugged or not. But I mean, I remember literally putting in the chat LMAO when that happened. I was like, what the fuck's going on, bro? I actually physically laughed out loud doing that. I was like, what the fuck? It was crazy. The actual fight itself, though, there's lots and lots of AoEs as well as knockback waves. And pretty cool thing, if you get knocked back by the knockback wave, similar to Quaddle's waves and how they knock you back, you actually get a tooltip saying, "Hey, jump over them," which is pretty cool. Although I'm not, I feel like that's kind of obvious. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've been playing the game for so long now. Well, it's been only like a little over 2 years. I guess it's not really that long, but yeah, they have a little tooltip now whenever you get knocked back by that. So, make sure to tell players to jump on over it. And yeah, pretty cool. A little tooltip there. Of course, increased health, which is very, very nice. So the fight goes on for longer. Unfortunately, this fight is practically still undoable in melee combat because you just get burnt to death, like scorched earth type shit. Like you literally are incapable of doing this in melee combat. So make sure when you go to Fire Elemental, bring a ranged weapon. It doesn't have to be good. I mean, this is a level 15 fucking event, so it doesn't really matter. There's so many people doing it. Just bring a ranged weapon, and you'll have an easier time damaging the boss. Don't forget also to follow the group to the middle area of the part where you have to escort the golem to go and kill that little douchebag golem thing. I forget what the hell it is, man. It's the shit where you need the key. All right, don't forget to go do that because that still exists and is very much still a thing. I'm not sure if they fixed the bug where sometimes two of them spawns. I'm not sure if they fixed that. I have no idea. No one had a key last night, so yeah, pretty cool there. Now moving on to the last one, which is the Great Jungle Worm. This is by far the best fight, and in my opinion, this has got to be, man, in my top three favorite world bosses. This is truly fantastic, very, very well designed. So not a lot of AoEs until you get into the Husk phase. Now well, not all of them, like two of them, the Shadow Behemoth and Jungle Worm, have multiple phases to them. Jungle Worm being the most significant. So basically, you damage it to 70 each 25% interval. There'll be basically the boss will go immune, and then there'll be like three husks that come out on basically the left, right, and then the top. I'm not sure, maybe there's four, but I just remember there being three. Basically, everyone has to split up and go to these husks and kill them. Now, there's a couple tricks here. If the husk reaches the boss, then it'll heal the boss for a damn good amount. I saw it heal for a damn good amount. And in order to kill these guys, you have to CC them, which is a huge thing. Like, this is a massive thing for such a starter level zone. Having a CC shit, what the fuck, bro? That's so cool. I love how you have to do that, and it really requires a lot of teamwork to get people in and start CCing motherfuckers. And if you don't split up properly, you're fucking screwed because it's gonna get healed again. Now, however, it did. One of them healed it, and basically we got it down to 25%. And one of them healed and brought it up more, and then we got it back down to 25%. There wasn't a phase transition there at all. We were able to get it down to 0 and be fine, so keep that in mind. It's still going to be doable if you do fuck up. But yeah, pretty interesting. I love the new world bosses. I think they're great, and I'm also very happy with the rewards that they give. They give increased rewards. I mean, what can I say? That's always a good thing. So yeah, world bosses are fucking awesome now. I think the starter ones are great. There's a couple of improvements to be made, right? Like Monir Olgoth, that could still bug out for some reason. I don't even know why the fuck they haven't fixed that yet. But other than that, there's only really like a couple world bosses that I don't like now. There's the Admiral Tide of Covington. That one's pretty shit. Mega Destroyer is terrible. The I think really in Monir Olgoth, and that's pretty much it. Those are the only ones in the game that I'm really like, yeah, I don't really want to do this. So yeah, fucking on triple treble too. I never do that one. It's just too much fucking hassle. But yeah, that's it, man. This was such a fucking awesome time last night and this morning to do these world bosses, man. Thank you so much, ArenaNet, for overhauling these. Like, this is so needed, and it was just such a nice thing, man. Being able to spend, because before we would wait for these events longer than it would take to kill them, and I was like, the fuck, like, and now there's actual phases, and it takes a while to kill them, and there's way more depth to what you're doing. It's just way more fun. So yeah, that's gonna cover it. That is the video on the world boss changes. Once again, fucking dude, this is incredible. Go check it out for yourself. It truly is an incredible change, and yeah,